Morning, folks. I'm Dave Canterbury with Ultralight Outfitters in the Pathfinder School. I just pulled off of a major highway to a pond that I saw, and got the Ultralight combo here. This is the one I carry in my backpack a lot of the time, and I've been testing the Dock Demon as of late in my backpack, and it's a great backpacking rod too. Got some footage of catching some fish with that out about, I don't know, 4 or 5K out into a wildlife area. But I generally carry this packable rod with me, and you're talking 12 ounces for the entire combo, plus whatever your terminal tackle is. That is a very lightweight option to catch fish almost anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's fat water, skinny water, stream, river, creek, salt water, fresh water. It doesn't matter whether you're still fishing, whether you're bait casting, whether you're bobber fishing, bottom fishing, none of that matters. This rod will do it all. You can even set this up like a primitive trapping method if you wanted to, by just using the same trigger systems and using this as your rod that you put in the ground or that you stake down. It's very, very simple. So there's nothing that beats this combo in my mind after 16 years of shooting videos on fishing, shooting videos on survival fishing and roadside fishing and, hike-in fishing, all those types of things. I've caught everything from bass to panfish to trout, you name it, I've caught them all. Saltwater fish, I've caught sharks, I've caught all of that stuff on rod and reel. And I'm telling you right now that for small fishing, backpacking, things like that, this combo is absolutely unbeatable. Let's go see if we can catch some fish. All right, we're just gonna jump on it and start right here below the truck. What I like to do when I'm attacking these places, obviously you'd love to be able to get a boat in here or something and go out. If you can't do that, just find the best place to attack it close. I got a shoreline here with some structure. I can see a little bit of weeds in the water, so I'm gonna stay outside that, so I don't hang my bait up. The good thing about this is, I can throw a small bait a long ways with this, and I can vary my retrieve and still keep that bait running. First cast, boom. There we go, very first cast. About an 8-9 inch bass there, okay? But the difference with this is I can take that hook out and I can release him really easy, put him back in the water, okay? When you're fishing in survival fashion, especially if you're using some kind of a trap, most of the time that fish has to swallow the hook and bait to set that thing off, and you're gonna kill him pulling the hook out. So if you're not eating them, you're killing them for nothing, okay? With this, it's pretty easy to release fish that you don't want. So first cast, we caught a bass. Let's see what we can do here. Another fish, second cast. Oh, he got off. Another little bass, he jumped off there. Okay, I'd rather lose him than kill him. So it's all right. The other good thing about this is I can vary my retrieve speed really easy. Let that thing sink down a little bit. Vary my retrieve speed, keep that bait running, and watch that bait as it's going. And get the speed I want, and get the depth I want in that water column where those fish are liable to be. Warmer part of the day like now, those fish are probably going to be deeper in the water column where the water's a little cooler. Oh, I think I had one hit that on the way down. All right, there's another one right there. Now again, that hook is right in the edge of his lip there. Easy enough to just pop that dude out, toss him back in the water, he's gonna live. You get them deep hook sets from that fish having to swallow that bait and set off a trap, or take a bobber way under, things like that, or take off with the thing and all of a sudden you see your pole bending because you're still fishing. He's probably swallowed that thing. You're gonna kill that fish, so you might as well eat it. With this, you can be very selective. Of course, if you are fishing for survival and fishing for your supper, then you're gonna keep every one of them probably. But in this case, we can be more selective. We've pretty much done our 270 right there. So again, we'll take a few steps down the bank. We're not gonna go that far. Maybe 10, 15 feet. Find us a stable place to put this tripod, if we can. There we go. And we'll get after it again, same thing. I'll start in toward the shore, because now I'm going further than I was a minute ago. Oh, there's a hit. A little drive-by action going on there. Didn't really blast it, just bumped it. See if we can go after him again. Oh, there he is. That time he whacked it. Oh, fell off right there at the bank. Get you little bitty bluegill there. Not a very big one at all. There he is right there. Back in the water you go, buddy. All right. Not doing bad. 3 fish. Hell, we ain't been here 15, 20 minutes. All right, there's another one. He was right on the edge, that dude. There's a little bass. There you go. All right. Tell you what, I've said this a bunch of times. Get a hold of him without getting a hook in me here. Again, he's got that right on the edge of his lip there. Not gonna be too tough to get it out. I've said this a bunch of times, Big baits catch big fish. Small baits catch all the fish. Remember that when you're putting tackle together, because it doesn't take a whole lot of 16th ounce and 8th ounce baits to catch a whole lot of fish, and it doesn't weigh very much. That dude was laying right on the edge there. So these fish are still in the shallow water. Try a linear cast down this edge now that we're over a little ways. Might be one hanging out there that we missed. Gotta keep track of where you're catching fish. If you know that most of your hits are coming close to the shore, then get in areas where you can cast linear to the shore and do that instead of casting out toward the middle. I'm pretty convinced that most of these fish are in the shallow edge. So I'm trying to get areas where I can get linear to the bank here. There's one. All right. He was a little deeper water. Another bluegill though. Not too shabby there. Nice pan-sized fish. Keep from getting spined by this bad boy. There we go. Again, hook right there in the lip. Easy to get him out. Easy to let him go. When you're out here practicing like this, it's important that you're not killing these fish getting them off the hook, because, I've done enough of this stuff that I know when you are fishing in a way that the fish really has to take that bait and run with it to be able to set the hook, then he's going to swallow it and you're going to have a hard time getting it out. But when you're setting the hook, actively fishing like this, if you set it immediately, you're going to get him in the lip where you're supposed to get him, not in the gullet. And I really believe that this is the way to fish when it comes to even to survival fishing. Just the rod and the reel weight is so light, you're almost crazy not to carry it for the versatility that it has. There's another one right there. Hit that dude, there's a little hole right here. That's a good one there. That's a nice fish right there, boy. There's a hole right here in front of me, and I think there's a school of these bluegill hanging in that hole. Now this guy, he swallowed a little bit deeper. You can see he's got that one a little deeper in there, but it's still not to the gullet. But it's going to require a tool to get it out so that we don't kill this fish. And I always carry a Leatherman with me, the Skeleton CX, when I'm fishing, just for this purpose. Get some glasses on so we're not hurting this guy. Just need to push it forward and pull it out just like that. Again, he's good, no problem, okay? Great carry for fishing. You can put bits in this that will be able to allow you to work on your reel and things like that. And it's got a pocket clip on it. Great for that. I love it for fishing. All right, we've caught more fish in 20 minutes than most people catch on entire videos. But I think what we're gonna do here is a good spot linear right here. Looks like there might be a hole right here, and that hole in front of me where I just caught that sunfish at. So we're gonna go ahead and throw a few casts in here real quick before we leave. I didn't really want to spend more than about a half hour here anyway. If we catch 6 or 7 fish in a half an hour, proof positive right there. Oh man, had a hit right there, missed him. That's all right. The thing I like about these rods too, as far as fishing with a small fishing rod like this, is it's really easy to spot cast. If I've got something I want to hit that's just a little ways out, it's easy for me to just flip that out there and stop that dude before it gets too far and fish that particular spot. It's hard to do that with something that doesn't have a reel on it. It really is. There he is. I knew there was a fish in there. I knew there was a fish in there. There's a little bass. Boom. Again, right there in the side of his lip. Get that dude out and let him go. There we go. Back you go, buddy. Okay. Nice. Question is, do we want to be greedy and catch one more? Or we want to call that a day? My goodness. That's a hell of a 30-minute run right there. Let's try to spot cast this 1 or 2 more times. Just for... There's one. All right. Guess it's worth staying for one more. There's a little sunfish there. All right. That's a hand-sized bluegill there. What's wrong with that? Look at that dude. That's a money fish. All right, so we're not going to get any more greedy than that. Lesson for the day: micro fishing is the king when it comes to catching fish and putting food on the table. I would be eating like a king right now, 30 minutes after starting, no problem. Again, 12-ounce rig here. Breaks down to nothing. And I think this might be a 16th ounce rooster tail on this one. Or Meps, one of the two. I think it's a rooster tail. But that orange and red, man, oh man, I just tore them up today. Right. Good morning on the water's edge here. I got to tell you, this combo right here, 12 ounces, all right? 12 ounces for that rod and reel. Packs up very, very small. That package is very, very small. You can see size of less than 2 of my hands, okay? Terminal tackle, you're gonna add weight with that. But for a 12-ounce combo, it's unbeatable. and 1/8 ounce lures. So you can put a lot of terminal tackle in a box and not add a lot of weight. And you can certainly carry something like this and have way more versatility than any other fishing method you could possibly imagine. Guys, listen, I appreciate you joining me out here today on the water's edge. Again, just a quick demonstration on ultralight tackle, ultralight things you can carry in a backpack very easily and just absolutely slay the fish and catch fish like a pro. If you understand what you're looking at, and one thing I didn't have with me today that I wish I'd had, that I will tell you is a great thing to carry, and they're on my backpack from the walk out into the wildlife areas, the reason I don't have them with me, is a pair of polarized sunglasses so that you can see structure and cover in the water, because fish love structure. Anywhere you can find something in that water that's structural, or things that go out from the bank that are structural, that's the target areas you want to be fishing. And that's what's so great about a rod like this, is you can target those areas. It's much more difficult with something you're slinging to be able to do that, because you can stop this on a dime by closing the bail. And once you get used to it, you can flip it underhanded, you can flip it overhand. There's lots of things you can do with this. You can skip baits across the water to get underneath the cover and things like that you'll never do with any other fishing method but this. So I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for my school, for my family, for my business, all of my sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.